Hey there, welcome back to my channel. And on this channel we talk about a lot of ways to get into a Service Academy, primarily through the nomination process. But today I am going to hit on 5 reasons why you may not get into a Service Academy. Some of these reasons are not because of anything that you did, it's just the way that things are. A couple of these reasons are solely dependent upon you. And one of them is just the way that things go. It's just the luck of the competition. So let's just get right into it. And we're going to hit with number one. Number one reason is academic ineligibility. I mean, it's no secret that to get into a Service Academy, you have to be smart. You have to do well on standardized tests, SATs, ACTs. Even if they say that they don't evaluate on that, they do look at it. Your class grades, where you stand in your class in high school, what you might have done after high school if you don't apply right away. But academic ineligibility, in my opinion, is probably one of the top reasons for not getting into a Service Academy. Now, this reason is totally controlled by you. So if you are a senior watching this and you're starting your senior year, well, hey, you got a really good chance of doing something to improve your grades, working on those standardized tests, and making a difference in your grades as you go into the nomination process in the end of your as you begin your senior year, towards the end of the calendar year. If you're a freshman, take note. If you're a sophomore, get working. If you're a junior, really get on the stick, and you can control this. The number 2 reason for not getting into a Service Academy is physical disqualification. So I would say, in my opinion, that after academic ineligibility, physical disqualification is probably the next reason. It's probably tied with another reason here, but it's probably the next reason. If you are qualified to get into an academy, but you might be physically disqualified. So one of the many reasons for being physically disqualified is that you have eyes that are uncorrectable, you have a health condition, which you may know about, which you may not know about, but that would preclude you from getting into a Service Academy. Things such as heart conditions, kidney problems, liver problems, things such as that, things that can't really be corrected. This is not your fault, not under your control, has nothing to do with anything that you did, but it is a reason for physical disqualification. If you're familiar with some of my other videos, I always say get your applications done early, and the reason is that you can get a DOB-MERV physical in ASAP. And as soon as you get that DOB-MERV physical in, they check you out and they give you the thumbs up or thumbs down. If they give you the thumbs down, well, then you have a chance to ask for a waiver, to appeal it, and maybe to correct the problem. But you only can do that if you get your application in an ASAP to the Academy and they give you a DOB-MERV slot to go and get a physical. But once again, physical disqualification. Reason number 3, failure to meet other standards other than academics. It's no secret that the academies judge people on the whole person. It's academics, athletics, community service, volunteer work, where you stand in your community, all things such as that. So if you are super smart and you do not play sports, you are not active in the community, you don't do scouting, you're not involved in any kind of volunteer work, you might get in, but the odds are that you're not going to get in. Just conversely, if you are the best football player that we've ever seen, you might get in, but the odds are that if your grades aren't up and if you have really poor grades, you're just not going to make it, and you're not going to make it past the first year. And to tell you the truth, if you are that good of an athlete, you're probably better off going to another D1 school that will treat you like you're semi-pro, and you can pursue your athletic career such as that. But the academies, the congressmen and the senators both look at a whole man score. And another thing is that a congressman or senator, have their own standards. They don't have to conform to what the academies want to give their nomination. They do comply with a lot of it, but they really don't have to conform 100%. So failure to meet other standards, this is something that you can work on. You can become active in your community. You can volunteer. You can join organized groups such as scouting, 4-H, church groups. There's plenty of things to do. You can volunteer. Organizations always need volunteers, and that goes a long way on your application for the nomination and for the academy. Now the next one. Well, this next one is totally up to you. Legal issues. We don't see a lot of this in the nomination process. I don't think in all the 30 years or so I've been doing this, I've ever seen this. But it is a thing. Legal issues. If you have a pending legal issue, such as a DWI, or something that you have to go to court for, if you have a conviction, especially a felony conviction, or some other type of legal issue, that will automatically, they would just not take you at all. DWI is looked at very strongly by the military. I can tell you stories where Marines right out of TBS have been charged with DWIs, and they were convicted and they were removed. They were discharged immediately. It's not looked on favorably. So this is something totally in your control. Don't do something that can get you involved with the police. Don't do something like hanging out with friends, drinking and driving, all things such as that. And let me just add on here that marijuana is a Schedule 1 narcotic with the federal government. Marijuana is a crime, a federal crime. The states might approve it, the feds still have not approved it. So any kind of marijuana use, marijuana conviction, anything like that is just a no-go. So be aware and don't get into trouble. And now the last one. The last one is not obtaining a nomination. You can do everything that you possibly could do. You can be, the number one guy on your sports team. You can be the president of the student council. You can be the number one girl on the field hockey team, or the women's basketball team in high school. You can have perfect SATs. You can be Mr. or Miss Perfect, but you have to get a nomination. And this is probably up there on the reasons why people do not get into a service academy. And the reason is failure to obtain a nomination. You must have a nomination to get into a service academy. No nomination, no appointment. It's very simple. Now, with that said, if you really are a superstar and you do not have a nomination, and the academy wants you, they will reach out to your member of Congress or your U.S. senators, and they may go and say, hey, look, we want this person. One way that they do this is they give a LOA, a letter of assurance. The LOA, letter of assurance, says basically that this candidate, Mr. Smith, Ms. Jones, if they receive a nomination, they will be appointed to the United States Merchant Marine Academy, Air Force Academy, Military Academy, etc. It's very simple. They will tell through that letter that you have a slot, and most congressmen and most senators will honor that letter. Very rarely they do not honor that letter. And I have to tell you from my experience interviewing people that if somebody walks in with the LOA, it's a very different type of interview. We do ask all the questions we need to answer, but in our opinion, if the academy says yes, and we see no moral or issues such as that, it's really not our place to tell the academy, no, this person should not have a nomination. So we always recommend those people for nomination. So the last reason is not obtaining a nomination. Sometimes you're a very competitive district, very competitive state. Everybody wants to go to, the big two, West Point and Annapolis. You know, everybody wants to go to the Air Force Academy. A few folks want to go to the Merchant Marine Academy. And of course, the Coast Guard Academy doesn't need a nomination. But, you know, for those Annapolis and West Point, and secondly, the Air Force Academy, there's a lot of competition, and you just might not be able to make that cut. And it's really not your fault if you did everything that you could do. So thank you very much. Thank you for tuning into the channel. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. You know, that's what drives this channel. We are not monetized, and subscribers really help us out a lot. So thank you, and good luck to you. Bye now.